5th of August. Welcome everyone to the show. Let's get started. Markets in Nigeria saw the first green shoot in a couple of sessions yesterday. That's 0.25% that you saw there on the back of gains by some of the banks as Stanbic IBTC and Zenith Bank reported the first half 2022 earnings. Stanbic IBTC paying 150 kobo interim dividend, 300 kobo was Zenith Bank announced just a few days ago. Those earnings beginning to lift the market. The shares of Boa Cement also helped today. Stock market got better. And of course, you got insurance, mutual benefit shares continue to climb as we saw a steady volume move in movement in volumes of shares in this particular top tier insurance listed on the NGX. The insurance stock index went up 4% on Wednesday. The industrial goods and consumer goods also climbed as Nestle, shares of Nestle, the food giant, also climbed on the NGX. That's the summary of it. But we're still below the 50,000 psychological reading, by the way, for the Nigerian exchange. The BRVM was flattish at 206.47. The Egyptian market went down 0.32%, which is the third negative reading since the start of the week. Today is the final trading day of the week in Cairo. And of course, you've got the Nairobi bourse down by 1.27%. The shares of Safaricom was the most actively traded, around 46% of the total turnover. Volume for the day, the shares also went down, as well as Equity Bank Holdings reporting its numbers for the second quarter and the first half of the year and keeping focus on tripling its balance sheet to about $25 billion moving forward. So those, including East African Cables, whittled down the Nairobi index, Osha index to 140.56. Then you got the South African market still below the 70,000 level, but went up 0.05% on Wednesday. Quick one on the market. Put that aside. Bring me the news headlines across East Africa, which the UK authorities are not really happy with the authorities in Nairobi regarding the ban on second-hand buses and trucks, which the UK is saying Kenya shouldn't impose those bans on those vehicles being exported from UK into Kenya. And foreign companies are looking at Tanzania's Bagamoyo port, part of the whole port operations being upgraded in East Africa. Everyone's competing with Kenya's Mombasa port, which is a prime destination in East Africa. For Tanzania, that's about 23 trillion shillings business. That upgrade, Durban in South Africa, the Durban port is also going for an upgrade. 100 billion rand is the project cost, and the Chinese, the Arabs, the South Africans themselves, and the EU folks are in that particular Durban port upgrade as well. So port upgrades going on across Africa, including Nigeria. Then sugar imports down on improved production. That's in Tanzania. January to July, production up locally by about 15%. And Tanzania has fired a government worker who opposes the new levies that impose on mobile money. So let's get on to look at the West African trading day. Largest telecommunication company, MTN, yesterday says it plans to roll out its new 5G spectrum operations across 7 cities in Nigeria. Of course, that includes Lagos, Port Harcourt, Kano, Maiduguri, and a few other big cities within the country. The 5G license was secured late last year by MTN and one other local telecommunication company. And the unveiling yesterday came finally for the $410 billion roadmap for energy transition that Nigeria has put in place. The vice president says he's looking to create roughly 400,000 jobs by the year 2030, and that could go to about 500,000 jobs by the year 2060. Nigeria is joining the road to COP27 in Cairo, Egypt, later in October. And Cameroon says it took roughly 320 billion CFA franc in commercial loans or what's called retail loans from the BGFI Bank in the month of May. The Saudi Fund for Development is assigned $47 million deal for certain projects to be implemented in West African state of Senegal, while the yield on Ghana bonds is still climbing as Accra looks to decide on how to deal with the plans to take a loan, a fresh facility from the International Monetary Fund. Checking with the Southern African news box this Thursday as we begin to head towards the weekend. Some earnings are still coming through as South Africa's inflation was the top economic data out in yesterday, 7.8% in July, the fastest pace since 2009. It was about 7.4% in the month of June. Unemployment figure came last week, slightly better than previous figure. In earnings, DRG Gold is reporting 22% profit decline because of cost that is rising in terms of operations, while Zimbabwean Central Bank is looking at whether it should float its own central bank digital currency in the footsteps of Nigeria Central Bank. And Zimbabwe is looking at 500 megawatts of power generation deal with Sky Power Global of United Arab Emirates. An emerging Africa infrastructure fund is planning $500 million fundraising over the next 3 years to support infrastructure projects across the continent. On the North African corridor, and that's where we always sum it up on Frontier Opening Bell. Let's look at Egypt and Morocco. Quite a few stories. Remittances from Egyptians abroad was roughly 32 billion US dollars in the 2021-2022 period. That's according to the Central Bank of Egypt. And the low-cost airline from Saudi Arabia, Flyrts, is going to start a direct flight into Casablanca in Morocco. El-Sewedy Electric, listed on the EGX, posted a second quarter roughly 27% consolidated net profit to around 113 billion Egyptian pounds. And Medinet Nasr housing reported in the week, it says 1.5 billion Egyptian pounds were the total of sales that was reported in terms of housing for the month of July. Those are some of the economic and corporate news as well as earnings coming through from North Africa and the rest of the continent. That is your Frontier Opening Bell this Thursday. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.